What's up, Tiger fans? Welcome back to the Street Speak, and this is what I would call what the people have been waiting for. After 5 years, Ryan Swain is here to join us, talk about all things Towson Tigers. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Let's talk about before college. We'll turn the yearbook back to high school, back-to-back MIAA championships as a local guy around here. Kind of talk to us about that 17 and 18 dual seasons, how loaded that team was, and kind of what that meant for your lacrosse career.
Yeah, so at Calvert Hall, man, I mean, lacrosse is everything to that school. It's everything to me as a player. So, I mean, winning back-to-back MIAA championships in the MIAA is a really challenging thing to do, and I was really lucky to be a part of a great group for those 2 years, and then they actually ended up winning it the year after I graduated as well in 2019. So, I mean, we had a really nice pocket of talent there, and it kind of set up my lacrosse career for a lot of success at a young age that I was hoping to bring to the next level here at Towson. So.
Sure, and I don't know exactly when you did, but I assume you committed probably pretty early, probably around that sophomore year.
Yeah, so I committed fall of my sophomore year, so December. I was about 15 years old. So.
And yeah, that's a rare process because lacrosse is pretty early. So what was that decision process like for you kind of starting out at that point in your life, and what sold Towson to you?
Yeah, so I mean, I visited a few other schools, went down to High Point, North Carolina, did some other prospect days, some other schools around here, but I kind of had the thought in my head from a pretty early time when the recruiting process started that I wanted to stay around here. I wanted my parents to be able to come to all my games, my sister to be able to come to my games. So when I visited Towson, I mean, I fell in love with the campus, Coach Nadalin, it was Coach Gallardi and Coach Kaji at the time, but the coaching staff was awesome. The place is like growing rapidly fast, man. It's crazy. Even my 5 years being here, it's changing so much. But really, just being a local product and staying home was kind of a big thing for me in the recruiting process.
You had that option again, I guess, kind of for the grad year. So what's kept you here? What have you seen? Because making a decision when you're 15 compared to 21 or 22 is a big difference. But what kept the love for Towson there for you overall that time?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just been my experience here. I've loved every moment of being Towson Tiger for 4 years. And kind of the cool thing about Towson and really, like, being a college athlete, you know, and, like, each year writes its own story. So, like, my freshman year story was a lot different than my sophomore year, getting a season canceled by COVID and having to go home for 6-7 months, whatever it was. And then coming back, there was just so much excitement my junior year. And then after my junior year was really kind of when I decided, talked to the coaches, that I wanted to come back for a fifth year. It was always like thought in the back of my head that I wanted to, but really solidified after my junior year. So my senior year, my first senior year, really didn't feel like a whole senior year because I knew I was coming back, but it was just another year, another story for me, and I was excited. It was pretty much a no-brainer for me to come back.
Let's talk about those different stories and kind of how they blend together. Obviously, you come in as a freshman, and then your second year canceled, and then third year first team All-CAA. It's like you're all over the map with kind of balancing that. And I talked to Timberlake about this last week on here. Is the grind of just kind of growing through the years, and a lot of people run from that, and you know they're scared of that. So talk about your grind and kind of what that process was like from year 1 to year 5, just mentally, physically, you know, learning what it takes to do it at a high level at this level.
Yeah. So my freshman year, I came in, and to be honest with you, I couldn't pass the run test to save my life. And back then in our program, you didn't earn any of like your Towson gear until you passed the run test. So I failed it 3 times, and I wore my Calvert Hall High School helmet until January, week or two before the season started. So that was a pretty interesting experience wearing that for 7 months. But it really made me kind of embrace the grind. I wish I could have passed the run test, but I mean, didn't happen. So it is what it is. But I mean, just when I was able to finally get that Towson gear, that really kind of made me just like fall in love with the process and everything. And then that summer, I really spent a lot of time with Coach Dreggy in the weight room and kind of just embraced like being so close and having this so convenient and all this facilities and stuff for me to use. Really, it allowed me to really just like fall in love with the process and all that stuff. So, and then sophomore year comes around, we're really excited. We had a pretty solid fall, and then we actually started off pretty poorly that my sophomore year. We actually started 0-6, and then we're about to play Duke, and that Wednesday we got our season canceled. So that kind of just shot everybody in the foot, and just like, wow, we're not really sure what the future's going to look like, and not really sure, are we going to have another season? Like, what's really going to happen? And then junior year comes around, and you talked about the first team CAA. Like, that was, I did have some success my junior year, and that was pretty special, but it kind of like went under the radar because we didn't even make the CAA playoffs that year. So that was pretty frustrating for us as a unit, and it was something this program, Towson lacrosse, really doesn't experience a whole lot, is not at least making the playoffs, at least competing for a championship. So that just made the drive this past senior year so much better and so much hungrier for all of us as a team, and kind of me specifically. And we got close. We had pretty good success making it to the conference championship, but there's still some unfinished business left. And that's what this 5th year hopefully that's a story we can write. Yeah,
and it was a great start for you guys too. But we go back to last year, you co-captain of that team, and you look at the roster of the lacrosse teams every year. They're much bigger than I think people kind of realize. So talk about being a leader or a captain or a co-captain and kind of managing all those different personalities and getting them all to go kind of in the same direction. How do you view that?
Yes, I mean, it's a great honor to be captain, and it's definitely something I would never trade for the world. But it is tough, and it's something that you kind of got to separate your friends from the lacrosse aspect. So, like, you might be great friends with somebody off the field, but if they're doing something that's not what we have aligned for ourselves on the field, you kind of got to say something and just, like, put friendships aside from the team and kind of business. So that's definitely a challenge. It's, like, something that you don't really like to have to do as a captain. You just wish everything could go smoothly. But, I mean, you kind of embrace that. And, you know, just like we actually had somebody, Ryan Drenner, Towson lacrosse legend, here at the face-off dinner last week talk to us. And he was like, gave this reference to a bunch of arrows. And it kind of like resonated with me as like being a captain. He's like, if all the arrows are going in one direction, you're going to have great momentum. But if one arrow sways off, it's going to hit other arrows. You're going to knock different arrows off, and it's going to really take the momentum away from the team. So that's kind of something that stuck with me personally, but also our team and like general, that like we all got to be going in the same direction. We all got to be thinking the same things, doing the same things for us really to have success and get our momentum going in the right way. So that's definitely something we're focusing on, and I just have the privilege of being able to lead the guys in that direction.
Yeah, and you talk about managing the friendships too, and this has been a core group that's been together. They're a couple of 5th year guys. So kind of talk about who your guys are on off the field, kind of some of the experiences and stories and things that make them your friends off the field too, because that is half the battle of what this is all about. So kind of go into who those guys are and what they kind of mean to you.
Yeah, definitely. So from the 2019 team where we won a CAA championship, there's 3 guys still left on the team. It's myself, Garrett Zingalia, and Alex Reed, and they've been my 3 roommates, or us 3 have been living together for the past for 3 or 4 years now. And we've had 1 different roommate each year, which is like a little weird, but we've always just had one person like fill the 4th room. So, I mean, us 3 have really been a core, and like we just get each other. We played on the same high school club team, so we've known each other for a really long time. I like lived at Garrett's house a little bit during high school because I'm from like about an hour away, so I would stay at his house a lot in high school, and just like we really just understand each other, and we just get along great. Little banter here and there, but I mean that's good in every friendship. And then we added guys like Austin Stewart in. He came our sophomore year, and he just fit in perfectly, fit in like a glove with us, and we're always just like on the same wavelength. We understand each other. I mean, we give each other a hard time here and there, but we all have thick skin, so it's just nice. And then we added guys in like Kyle Berkeley, Nick DeMayo, John Kierkoff this year, and then those are pretty much most of the 5th years, and then younger guys like Reagan McNamara, Ange Milani. We're all pretty much from this area, and that like is pretty cool for us, but because we've known each other for a long time, but we always haven't been friends. But now we're all just so close, and we really just understand each other as people.
And talking about the area around here, which is obviously so lacrosse heavy, what is your favorite crosstown rivalry of all the schools? You know, who do you like to just beat and stick it to them year in and year out?
So I'll probably have to go Loyola. I mean, in high school, it was definitely Loyola. I mean, we played with a ton of Loyola guys in like my FCA team, and Alex Reed. I mean, to this day, I'll still give him some crap about it. But like, we beat Loyola in the championship. I think two out of my 4 years there. They beat us my sophomore year in the quarterfinal, so I'll give that to them. But junior and senior year, we beat them in the semifinals, and to be completely honest, the senior year we smoked them like that wasn't even close. And
does the same passion for Loyola carry over to the university too?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I know a lot of kids at Loyola, and we love beating them, and they're coming to Johnny U this year, so it'll be
March 1st.
Another crosstown rivalry.
Yeah. So in lacrosse and life too, Who are some of your biggest inspirations, from family to role models to people you kind of grew up watching? Who matters the most to you in the direction that you've taken?
Oh yeah, it's definitely been my parents and my sister. I'd probably say for the lacrosse and the sports aspect, it's been my dad. He's been kind of like my life coach, my sports coach, pretty much. He's never really coached me like on the sideline, just
Right.
felt like after the game in the backyard, all that different stuff. He's just given me his advice and where he sees fit. He never played the game of lacrosse, but he's a smart enough guy
Sure.
to understand
Yeah.
like different schemes and stuff. So, I mean, his advice has been unbelievable, and just the support from him, my mom, my sister. This is definitely the three people that I look up to and
Yeah.
go to for the most support.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of wrapping up, as we always do, your impact here has been felt for the last 5 years, and I'm sure that you know that, and people let you know that. But what have you done today to make Towson Athletics a better place than it was yesterday?
Yeah, so that's something we always talk about, at least in our program, is leave the place better than you found
Yep.
it. So what I did today, we got up, we had film at 9, we had positional film at 9:30, and we had a nice practice. And I just like to break down every huddle
Yep.
with the guys and talk to them about this weekend. It's our first home game this weekend at Johnny U, and it's going to be a really special moment for us.
Sure.
Because, we obviously kicked off the 2023 season pretty strong with
Yep.
a good win against the Mount, but we're playing a team in St. Joseph this weekend that we lost to last year, and we didn't think we played our best. So, to be back on Johnny U this weekend with this group of guys is just going to be really special, and
Yeah.
I just can't wait to kick it off for them. So, just hoping to leave this place better than I found it, man.
Perfect. There you go. Well, you heard him. Come catch these guys at Johnny U all spring. This is our first spring athlete that we've had on as we kind of continue. Follow more at TowsonTigers.com for all the spring sports and events. We look forward to seeing you guys soon. Go Tigers.